You already started?
All right. It's Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. It is Friday, all right, which is the Lashawan Qadash class. We're going to get into our native tongue, all right? All right, so Lashawan is tongue, all right? Qadash is holy tongue, all right? We're going to start off every class like we do, all right? We're going to start off by doing the alphabet. So if you would, repeat after me. Ah, ba, da, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, qua, ra, sha, and tha. All right. So let me zoom out. Move this. Got it. All right. So today's class, all right, we're going to go over something new today. All right. So today's class, we're going to be going over conditional clauses. All right. All right. All right. So, what is a conditional clause? All right. A conditional clause. Well, let me zoom out a little bit more so you guys can see the whole board. All right. Okay. Get my notes out. All right. So, what is a conditional clause? All right. So, there are two types of conditional clauses. All right. You have a real conditional clause and you have a unreal conditional clause. All right. So what's the difference? All right. What is the difference between a real and an unreal conditional clause? All right. So let's think about that word condition. All right. So condition is exactly what it is. Something based off of something. Okay. All right. So a real conditional clause, all right, in biblical Hebrew, it is a real condition. All right. It is a real conditional clause. There are real conditional clauses and unreal conditional clauses. Often differently, although there are some that overlap. All right. A real conditional clause in most times begins with the wa. All right. So with the wa alphabet, okay, followed by the subject. All right, wa followed by the subject. all right, which is a noun, all right, okay, or the predicate, all right. Alternately, a real condition can begin with, all right, all right. So a real, matter of fact, let me rewrite this, all right. All right, so conditional clauses. All right, a real conditional clauses begins with the what. All right, so I'm going to put the both symbols, one for Assyrian, one for Paleo. All right, and it's followed normally by the subject. All right, that's abbreviated. All right, or predicate. Okay. All right. Now, what is not the only letter that starts off for a conditional clause. All right. So you have other ones. All right. So let's just write them out. All right. So we know we have what. All right. What else do we have? All right. We have So let me put both of these. All right. So we have we have all right. What else do we have? We have kaya. And then rarely you have a shard. All right. Okay. So the clause, all right, will normally it's like the clause will normally begin with a hawa. I'm sorry, not with a hawa, with han. All right. So all right, so you have all of these. So you have wa, you have you have kaya, and you have amar. All right. Next you have han. All right. All right. So these are conditionally signaled by the context, or rather by han itself. Okay. So, so let's find out. Let's get like a little background on conditional clauses. Let me pull this back up. Right. Boom. All right. So with conditional clauses, it's like a if type of statement, right? So so it's like an open-ended question, right? So a conditional clause would be a real conditional clause would be uh, if it storms tonight, right? It gives a definite possibility. So a real conditional clause is a definite possibility. All right. So like if it rains tonight, because it could be a possibility that it might rain, or give me another one. If I get home on time, right? So these are definite possibilities, right? Okay. So review. All right. So conditional clause, a real conditional clause, right, is a definite possibility first, right? And it begins with "was" followed by the subject or the predicate, right? Also, things that it may begin with, of course, we have "was," we have we have "kaya," all right, we have "ashar," rarely, and then we have "han," right? So these are dealing with definite possibilities, okay? So I'm gonna make a column over here for these. All right, so we can just have these on the board as we're moving through. All right. All right, we put real. I'm gonna put unreal. All right. So over here we have what? We had kaya. All right, so we had what? We had kaya. What was the other one we had? We had we had ashar. And then we had Han. All right. So now we're going to deal with unreal. All right. So a unreal conditional clause is a fake possibility. All right. So let's put that. Fake possibility. All right. We ask them oftentimes like, what's a fake possibility? I mean, shoot, when hell freezes over. I'm saying if hell freezes over, there's a fake possibility, right? Shoot, if the sky is green, that is a fake possibility. All right. Shoot. Uh, let's see. Give me another one. Shoot. If but you get the point. All right. So a unreal conditional clause is a fake possibility, right? It's normally a sarcastic statement, you know, meant to be poignant or witty. All right. So let's get some information on a unreal conditional clause. All right. An unreal conditional clause, all right, typically begins with laws which may be spelled. All right. So the first unreal one we have is la wa ah. All right. So we have. I'm just gonna put them over here. So we have la wa ah. All right. The next one we have is Lawa, or you have one that is defective as La'a, and you know why it's defective because that means clearly no. All right. All right. And then you have a negative unreal condition clauses that begin with la wa la ah. All right. And then you have the last one, which is la wa la ya. All right. And then you have a- alawa. All right. So you have real, all right, and you have unreal. Okay. Now, the two that both of these two share, all right, the two that they share, I'll put them right here. I'll put them in a box right here so that they don't move. All right. So you have and Kaya. All right. All right. So and Kaya are shared between both the real and unreal conditional clauses. All right. Okay. So now we're going to get into a couple of instances. All right. So what you want to make sure you copy down is this right here. All right. We're going to keep this chart up for the majority part of class. All right. So we're going to use that as a reference point. 1 second, let me get some water. All right. So let's deal with the real first. All right. So the first thing that we're going to deal with are the real conditional clauses. All right. First example that we're going to use is it's going to come from Leviticus 13 and 3. All right, I'm going to write the sentence. All right. Okay. So the first word that we have up here is, use a different color. All right. So the first word we have up here is wa. Sha'ir. Sha'ira. Slacking. All right. Now, conditional clause. All right. So we're going to look at, we're in real, so we're going to look in our what context. All right. So the conditional clause of the sentence normally is going to start at the beginning of the sentence, right? So we have what, right? So we're going to automatically know. So we're going to automatically know, because that was is at the beginning of the sentence, that we're dealing with the real clause. All right, we're dealing with the real conditional clause. All right, so we have wa sha'ir. Matter of fact, let me pull up the scripture real quick. Leviticus 13:3. There we go. All right, so we have sha'ir. Actually, it is sha'ir. I was correct. All right, so Strong's concordance number here is H8181. All right, which means hair. All right. Okay, so it can be so it's dealing with like hair, like the hair on your head, hair on an animal, hair on your skin. All right. The next word we have here is Bungai. I'm sorry, Bunagai. All right. All right. Now, does this word have a prefix, a suffix, or both? Let's look at our prefix. All right. It has a prefix. All right. So, bu is the prefix. What does bu mean as a prefix? In. All right. Which brings us to our root word, nagai. All right. Which is a Strong's Concordance number 85061. For the means plague, I'm pulling up the here we go. All right. So nagai means plague. Disease, or a mark dealing with a wound. All right. Next word we have here is I.S.U.P.K. All right. And if you are in Hebrew Academy, you should know what this word means. All right. So Strong's Concordance number for I.S.U.P.K is H2015. All right. And I.S.U.P.K means to turn, or to overturn. All right. That is a command in Hebrew Academy when you're marching. I.S.U.P.K, sar. To turn or overturn a turn. So how you overturn a turn, you turn around. All right. Okay. So we have hair in plague or disease or mark, turn or overturn. All right. The next word that we have here is Laban. All right. Strong's Concordance number for Laban is H3836. And what does Laban mean? It means white. All right. So we have, so it's starting to come together. All right. So we have which lets us know that it's a conditional clause. All right. So what is conditional clause? The if factor. All right. So we're going to put in parentheses right here, if. All right. Okay. So if hair is in disease or in plague or in mark, turn white. All right. The next word we have right here is nagai. All right. You literally have that word right here. Okay. Again, I'll put the Strong's Concordance number 85061. All right. Again, it means plague, disease, or mark. All right. Next word we have is Tazariah. All right. Strong's Concordance for this word is H6883. All right. Which literally translates to leprosy. All right. Last word we have here is Hawa'a. Which literally translates to he. Unless you know that is the subject of the sentence, a man. All right. So let's break it down. All right. If subject of the sentence is he, if his hair, all right, marks and turns white in disease, he is leprous. All right. Again, if hair in mark turns white, he has leprosy. All right. So now let's literally read. Now, this is a portion of Leviticus 13:3. It's not the whole thing. All right. Now let's read Leviticus 13:3. And the priest shall look upon the plague in the skin of the flesh, and where the hair in plague is turned white, all right, and the plague, all right, and the sight be in the skin of flesh, it is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look on him, all right, and be pronounced unclean. Okay, so we have a real conditional, we have a real conditional clause here, right? because it is a definite possible statement. Okay? All right? So the definite possible statement is if, all right, the portion or mark of the skin turns white, all right, he has a plague of leprosy, right? So if you have a sore and the sore doesn't heal and it turns white, you are leprous. All right. So that is a real condition. That is something that can actually happen. Like saying if it storms, right? Like saying if it storms tomorrow, I'm not coming, right? That is a real condition. It could possibly storm. Okay. All right. So copy this down. All right. So see we're referencing back. All right. So is at the beginning, right, of the subject. Remember, right, when you're dealing with a real conditional clause, right, if is at the beginning of the subject, right, what is the subject of this sentence? The subject of this sentence is the hair. Okay, it is the hair, right? Okay, so the word lets you know that it is a if statement. All right. So what doesn't always mean and. All right. So what attached to the subject. All right. It lets you know that it is a real conditional clause. But you might ask, well, also ties to that. But what about the clause stem? All right. But the clause stem is at the opening of a sentence, right? Or the opening of a statement, and it's normally it normally starts off with hawa, right? And not just wa by itself. Okay. All right. So copy down. We're going to do one more example of uh, of a real conditional clause. Examples of a unreal conditional clause. Okay. Okay. All right. So the next scripture that we're going to do, all right, the scripture. The next scripture we're going to do is Genesis 44:22. Okay? Genesis chapter 44, verse 22. Matter of fact, let me do one that has a different one so you can get experience with a different one. We're going to do Genesis 13:9. Genesis 13:9. right. Let's go to the scripture. Genesis 13:9. All right. So, all right. We have opening up the sentence, right? So remember, in a real conditional clause, all right, either wa, kaya, ashar in rare cases, or han is going to open up the sentence, all right? So we have followed by we have a conditional clause followed by an juxtaposition, right? Which is his dash. What does that mean? That means that this word and this word are in close proximity, are in close relation to one another. All right. So we have all right, what is that is the if factor. All right. So that is the conditional clause. That is the opening of the conditional clause. We have that is the if factor. Okay. Next, we have Hashema all. All right, we have Hashemal. All right. Okay. Strong's concordance number for it is 88040. All right. This word have a prefix, a suffix, or both. This word definitely has a prefix. What is the prefix? The prefix is ha. All right. So let's go over here on the board. Look at our list of prefix. What is ha? All right. Ha is the. Okay. All right. Which makes the root word shama all. All right. If you are in Hebrew Academy, you should know what this word is. All right. When you're marching, this is a command that's given. You understand? We're marching. Shamal. Sar. All right. It is a left turn. All right. So Shamal literally means left. All right. So left hand. All right. Or left side. Or to face east. That's definitely not how you spell face. All right. All right. So we have if the left, or if the left hand, or if the left side, or if face east. All right. So We have the next word. All right. So the next word is YAHANNA. Okay. All right. Does this word have a prefix, a suffix, or both? All right. Okay. This word has actually two prefixes. All right. All right. It has wa, which is and I, which is I or I am. Okay. And we know this why. We go to our prefix. Is I or I am. What is and. All right. Now, the root word is yaman. Strong's concordance number is H. 3231. All right. Okay. All right. So yaman, all right, means to, it is right, to go right, right hand, all right. So what do we have here? We have Hashema'al Wa'ah Yamana, all right, which is if the left and I go right. So what does this translate to be? Go left if I go left or go right. Okay? All right. So now let's read the scripture. All right. So, so we have if thee go left, or if thee the left hand, and I the right, or and I to go right. So basically, if you go left, I go right. All right. So that is a real statement. If you go left, I'm gonna go right. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the scripture. All right. So this is Genesis 13 and 9. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou will take the left hand, all right, then I will go right. Okay, so Hashemal Wa'ah Yamana literally translates to if you go left, I'll go right. Okay, this is a real conditional clause. All right, this is a real statement. And if you have any questions, make sure you type them in. Make sure you type them in the comments. All right. So this is a real conditional statement. Okay. All right. So we have Hashamal, Wa'ah, Yamanah. All right. If you go left, I'm gonna go right. All right. This is something that you can use at camp. This is something that you can use in Hebrew Academy. This is something that you can use in everyday life. Okay. This is Genesis 13 and 9. Okay. Make sure you have this copy down. All right. So we've gone over two real conditional clauses. We did one for the first one, and we did for the second one. The reason why I'm going over this is because next week when we go over the Lord's Prayer, what's in the Lord's Prayer a lot is kaya, right? So it's conditional clauses in everything in the Bible, right? So the Lord gives conditions. If you do this, I'll do this, right? Okay. If you follow this, I will do this. If you don't do this, I will do this. All right. So these are the real conditional clauses. All right. So you have that copy down. All right. Now we're going to give two examples of unreal conditional clauses. All right. All right. So we're dealing with the unreal. I guess I can write it blue. Unreal conditional clauses. All right. Okay. So the scripture that we're going to use Deuteronomy 32 and 29. Okay. All right, we're going to write the scripture up here. All right. Okay. So, all right, let's go to the scripture. Deuteronomy 32:29. All right. So we have Lawah as the opening statement. All right. So we're dealing with the unreal. We look at our list of unreal conditional clauses as openers. Lawah is one of them. All right. So now we have identified the if factor. All right. All right. So we have Lawah. All right. So next we have Hakmawah. All right. Does this word have a prefix, a suffix, or both? All right. Oh, and just so you know, Lawah, I give you the. I wasn't giving the Strong's Concordance number for the other ones, but I give you the Strong's Concordance number for the unreal conditional clause is H. Wrong color. Should have gave y'all these for the other. My bad, y'all. H 3863. All right. So we have Hakmawah. All right. So this word has a is it a prefix, a suffix, or both? This word has a suffix. What is the suffix? Suffix is Y. Let's go right over here to the board to our suffixes. All right. What does Y mean? It means he, his, or it. All right. So we'll put that he, his, or it. All right. Okay. All right. So the root word is chacham, which is the actual root word, chacham, right? That Strong's Concordance number for the root word is H 2449. Okay. And this word means wise, to be wise. Let me write that in black. To be wise. Or just simply wise. Okay. All right. All right. Next we have YAHANNA. All right. Does this word have a prefix, a suffix, or both? All right. It has both. All right. Okay. So the prefix is ya. The suffix is wa. All right. Ya is he. All right. Wa is also he. All right. So, well, off the top of that doesn't make any sense. Why is it he at the beginning and he at the end of the word? Right? What does two he's make? They. Right? Whenever you see a ya as a prefix and a wa at the end, both of them are he. All right? Draw a little diagram down. All right, 1 plus 1 is 2. All right, two he's is they. All right. All right, the root word is shakal. All right, Strong's concordance number is H 7919, which means to understand. Black. All right, means understand, means prosper. It also means wisely. But that's not what it means in this context, so I'm not going to put that there. All right. Okay. Next word we have is Za'ah. All right. All right. Za'ah. Okay. Strong's concordance number for this is H 2063. All right. It translates to this. All right. Here. All right. Or this one. Referencing to something. All right. So here we have Lawa. Chakmawa, right? Yashakal, Yashakaliwa, Za'ah, all right? If he is wise, they will understand this, all right? Let's go to the actual scripture and see what it says. All right, this is Deuteronomy 32:29. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. All right. So, oh, that they were wise. So, if they were wise, all right, that they would understand this. All right. Literally translate to the same thing, right? This is a sarcastic statement, right? So why is it sarcastic? Because it's saying if they understood this, they would consider the latter days, right? So just like today, you know, if people understood the law, statutes, and commandments, they would consider that we are at the end time. All right. So we have Lawa, Hakamawa, Yashikawa Za'a. All right. Which is an unreal statement. It is a sarcastic statement. So unreal conditional clauses are normally sarcastic. They're rhetorical questions. They are normally sarcastic. It's pretty much being an asshole. All right. Okay. All right. Make sure you got this copy down. We're going to do one more, and we're going to close it out there. All right. Boom, 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 boom. All right. You guys got it. Make sure you got this copy down. But remember, this is something very important to remember. When you see Yah at the beginning and Wa at the end, two he's, 1 + 1 is 2. All right? It's two he's over there. So if it's two people over there, two he's make a they. Or if it's two she's, it's a they. All right? So this is very important to remember. When you see two two gender identifications at the beginning and at the end of the word, that word is talking in second person, right? They. All right, they, them over there. Okay. All right, it's good to remember. All right. Okay. Oh, let me check, make sure we don't got no questions. All right. Okay. No sweat. All right. So the last example that we're going to do of the unreal is going to come from the book of Judges. So it's going to be Judges 14:18. All right. Going to write the sentence. All right. Okay, let's go to the scripture. This is Judges. Oh, let me put a G right there so you know it's Judges. That could be Jude. Fourteen and 8. 18. 14, 18. All right. So we have la la all right, which is literally right here. This is our opening statement. La la all right, which identifies the if factor in the sentence. All right. All right, and the Strong's Concordance number for it is H3884. All right, so this establishes, all right, the if factor. All right, okay, so next we have, all right, so next we have Karashtham. All right, Strong's Concordance number is 2790. All right. Root word here is Qadash. All right. So that means this word has a suffix. All right. All right. So you see thumb at the end of a word. All right. This is a pluralization. Okay. This is a form of a pluralization. All right. So the root word charash, all right, means to cut or to plow. All right, or oh, let me write this in black. All right, to cut, plow, or engrave. All right. right. All right. So the next word we have is Galathia. All right. Strong's concordance number for this word is H 5697. All right. This word have a prefix, a suffix, or both. All right. In this case, it has both. All right. What is the prefix? Ba. All right. Let's go over to the board to our list of prefixes. What does ba mean? Ba means in when it is a prefix. All right. Then we have ya. What does ya mean is a prefix? My. All right. So the root word is I-gala. All right. I-gala. And what does that mean? It literally means a heifer, a cow. All right. So we have if he cuts in my heifer. All right. So let's go to Judges 14 and 18 and see what it reads. And the men of the city said unto him on the seventh day before the sun went down, what is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion? And he said unto them, if ye had not plowed with my heifer, ye had not found out my riddle. You know what I'm saying? So this was Samson talking to the Philistines. All right. So when he was giving them the riddle, right? So he had asked him the question, right? So he was giving them riddles, and he said, and the men said of the city, said unto him the seventh day before the sun went down, what is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion? And he said unto them, if ye had not plowed with my heifer, ye had not found out my riddle. So basically, if you wouldn't have messed with my woman, you wouldn't have found out the riddle. You know what I'm saying? So, for you brothers out there, so when your woman getting out of line, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and call her, you know what I'm saying, Igala, you know what I'm saying, the help. Oh, man. All right. So this is a unreal conditional clause because the men did not literally mess with his heifer. This was a analogy that he was using in reference to Delilah. Okay. All right. So we've gone over two examples. All right. Two examples of real, two examples of unreal. All right. Homework. Homework. All right. I'm going to give you a couple of scriptures. Okay. Genesis 18:21. Psalms. I'm gonna give you this one because this is literally in the prayer. One of the prayers. No, not this one. Psalms 119, 92. Second Chronicles 7:13. And Ruth 1 and 12. All right. So for homework, you're gonna go. You can either use your Torah or Tanakh. If you have the Blue Letter Bible, you're gonna go to these scriptures and you're gonna look at the Assyrian, and you're gonna determine whether these four scriptures, if they are real or unreal conditional clauses. All right, that's simple. Okay, all right, we're gonna stop right here. All right, gonna give a courtesy salute to the brothers. All right, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathum, and to the sisters, Shalom, Yahweh Shabbat Elathon by Hashem Yahushua, and we gone.